Right, this one is a proper hot hatch battle royale. We recently tested this Civic Type R against the Ford Focus RS, the hot hatch of the moment, and it gave the Ford a surprising bloody nose. This time, however, it's up against one of our all-time favourite hot hatches, the Megane Renault Sport 275 Cup S. To this fight, the Civic brings more power, it looks more aggressive, it's the newest, latest and the one everybody's talking about. The Megane, meanwhile, is very near the end of its production life and on paper doesn't really stack up that well against the competition. Despite that, I think it stands a pretty good chance against the Honda, and we're going to take to a track to find out why. So what is it about the Civic Type R that makes it good enough to beat even, in our opinion, the all-conquering Ford Focus RS? Well, it's just so damn hardcore, that's basically it. A lot of people will claim that their latest car is a racing car for the road. Well, in the case of the Civic, it doesn't actually feel like one. It is so focused, no pun intended. It is way more hardcore than I think any hot hatch, mainstream hot hatch sold to date. It really, really does feel quite like a racing car. The damping is absolutely bonkers stiff, and that aero on the outside might make people snigger, but it does work. We've driven it on a faster track than this, and you could actually feel the effect of the aero through the corners. Honest, it really works. I think one of the things about this car is it's just so exciting. It's so sharp. It's quite relentless. It's a lot of fun. You know, there's lots of kind of techie stuff that they share, like offset steering struts and mechanical limited slip diffs and all that kind of thing, but just the character is completely different. It's not as playful. I don't like the steering as much as the Meganes because I think the diff has actually got more influence over the steering than it does in the Megane. So you get this slightly weird turn in and then a little bit more feedback through the steering wheel when the power's going to the front wheels. Although it's kind of quicker in the mid-corner, it's got more grunt, you just don't quite have the sense of feedback that you get in the Megane. But it fights back against that with absolutely brilliant brake pedal feel. The feel through the pedal is just absolutely solid, where the Megane goes a bit mushy sometimes. The engine is a lot better. The engine's got a lot more reach. I think it's geared a little bit tighter than the Megane, so I'm grabbing third through there, whereas the Megane I'm happy staying in second. But everyone was worried about Honda making a turbocharged engine after their years of making high revving VTEC petrols, but I quite like the fact that Honda have just gone, well, if we're going to make a turbo, we're going to make it damn well feel like a turbo. So there's a bit of lag, there's wastegate chuff, there's a bit more inertia than the Megane's engine, so it does rev on a bit if you're not careful when you're upshifting. It's an exciting engine. The whole car is just really, really exciting. The Civic is all about firepower, aero firepower, horsepower firepower. Doesn't give quite as much back, but by God is it fast. So how is it that a car launched in 2009 can run one of the best new hot hatches so close still? Well, it's all about the feel and the feedback. This corner is a great example. So turn it in on the brakes, nails the apex, absolutely perfect. And I felt confident doing that because I've got so much feel through the steering feel. It's something we bang on about a lot, and it makes such a difference to the driving experience. It matters more than a few tenths here, a few horsepower there, because with that and this fantastic Olin suspension, which is simple, effectively, there's no trickery, there's no electronic modes, it's a passive damper, but it's just a super high quality, very expensive damper. The feedback through it is just so much more predictable than any electronic system. It is up there with the fastest cars around the Nürburgring, despite being the oldest and the least powerful. And it does that because the driver had the confidence to push, the ability to just play with it on the limit, like you just don't get with the rivals. Even the Civic, which has a lot of the Megane's character about it, I've got to say. I can adjust the angle of the car with just tiny throttle and brake inputs. Trailing the brakes just keeps the front end nailed to the apex, and then with that limited slip diff, I've got all the traction I need on the exit as well. But that's just the Megane through and through. It's not as poised as the Civic, it's not as planted. You can feel the back end just starting to wander around a bit. That's what's great about it. It just gives you so many options. You can back it into a corner if you want. If you're very, very late on the brakes and feeling exceptionally brave, then it's all down to you. There's no digital enhancement to this. This is a pure driver's car, the like of which we probably won't see again. And for that, I'm a little bit sad, but as you can see, I'm enjoying myself quite a lot as well. Right, so I think we've established that I like driving both of these cars very much on the track, but I can only drive one of them home, so I've got to decide which one it is, how to do that. So, eeny, meeny, no, best not go there. Right, well, I think I am going to take the Megane. No, I'm going to take the Civic, but I always said the Megane was my favourite, so I think maybe I'll take... I did quite enjoy the Civic though.